What's going on, guys? On this episode of On the Set, we're continuing 007 month with Spectre, the fourth Bond film featuring Daniel Craig as James Bond. So let's get into it. The film starts off with Bond going to Mexico. He gets a message that M left before she died in the last movie about a bombing that's going to occur at a stadium. Bond gets there and prevents the bombing, and then he obtains a ring from one of the attackers at the stadium, Ciara. When he gets back to MI6, the new M suspends Bond for going to Mexico because he himself didn't approve it. What a douchebag. Fucking Voldemort. Maybe he's upset because the new guy, Max, who's the head of the Joint Intelligence Service, just showed up and started calling the shots. Max wants Britain as a whole to join a global intel initiative called Nine Eyes, which would basically merge all of the national intelligence agencies into one. He also wants to shut down the 00 agent section of MI6. So, fuck that guy. After that, Bond goes rogue to finish the mission the previous M put him on in Mexico. So he heads to Rome to attend Ciara's funeral and ends up saving Ciara's wife Lucia from some assassins. Then Lucia tells Bond that Ciara worked for a guy named Oberhauser, who runs a giant terrorist organization. After hearing this, Bond sneaks into a meeting of the organization, where Oberhauser immediately recognizes Bond, so he gets the hell out of there. Oberhauser plans to have Mr. White from the previous movies assassinated, and it's discovered that Quantum, who Mr. White worked for, is a subsidiary of a bigger organization. But who? Following this, Bond tracks down Mr. White, but he suddenly kills himself. Then, Bond saves Mr. White's daughter, Madeleine, after she gets kidnapped, and she tells him that the organization is called Spectre. Uh-oh, we've heard that name before. Bond and Madeleine go to Oberhauser's base in the Sahara. On the way, they get attacked by Hinks, Spectre's top assassin, but they defeat him. And look, it's Batista. When they finally get to the base, Bond confronts Oberhauser, who tells him that Spectre is behind the Joint Intelligence Service and that Max works for Spectre as well. Well, of course he does. And that he plans on using Nine Eyes to give Spectre access to all the intel from every intelligence agency. Then, Oberhauser tortures Bond while telling more of his backstory. He and Bond are actually adopted brothers. When Bond's parents died, Oberhauser's father adopted him. But feeling that his father loved Bond more, Oberhauser killed him and staged his own death. And then he started the terrorist organization Spectre to seek revenge on Bond, and he even changed his name to guess what? Blofeld. Yep, that's right. This is the reboot Blofeld. Who would have guessed? Anyway, Bond and Madeleine incapacitate Blofeld by blowing up the base, and they escape. Then they head to London to stop Nine Eyes. Max gets arrested, but Spectre shows up to capture Bond and Madeleine yet again. Meanwhile, Max and M get into a fight, and Max ends up dying. Spectre takes Bond to an old MI6 building that's condemned. Blofeld walks in, having survived the explosion, but now has the scar like the original one did in the old movies. He tells Bond that he now has 3 minutes to rescue Madeleine, who's also been taken there. And in typical Bond fashion, he gets free and saves her just in time, just as the building comes crashing down. Blofeld attempts to escape in a helicopter, but Bond shoots it down, and Blofeld is arrested by M. The end. Wow, this one was pretty epic. I said the last one was the best one, but I think so far this is the best one. And I'm starting to think that these rebooted Bond films focus more on action than Bond being a playboy. But anyway, Christoph Waltz's Blofeld was just crazy. Next time we take a look at the final installment of them all. So I'll see you then.